Well, if you clicked on this video, then you probably want to learn a little bit about audio production. So, let's talk audio production. Before you get started producing anything, you want to ask yourself one really important question. Why are you producing? Lots of people produce for a lot of different reasons, such as for gigs, or just for fun, or to have something to present to their friends or family, or for a competition. No matter the reason, it's important to get your intentions established before you make something so you know what you're getting into. Depending on how serious you're going to take it, it has different requirements and things you'll need to learn. If you're serious about taking your audio production to the next level, you might not just want to stop at this video, but watch some more advanced videos that give a better and deeper insight into audio production. With that out of the way, let's jump into some hardware requirements you're going to need for this. When it comes to audio production, hardware is a major part of what sound engineers work with every day. Things such as guitars, basses, drums, microphones, laptops, and audio interfaces all count as hardware. When you're starting off, you want to make sure you're buying exactly what you need, not too low, not too high. I think the best way that I've heard it said is, buy as high as you want until you feel stupid for buying it. I use that mentality when buying all of my hardware. Depending on the genre or sound you're working with, guitars, drums, basses, and instruments of that variety might be helpful to purchase. One thing that isn't niche to any genre or sound is an audio interface. These come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, but anything about the $60 to $100 range would be good for a beginner. A laptop or desktop is also required for audio production. It's very helpful to do some research beforehand, so make sure you visit somewhere like a Guitar Center and find out exactly what you're buying. It's always better with instruments and audio interfaces to research first and buy later. Now that you've got a good idea of what you want to buy hardware-wise, let's move on to the next big thing, software. Getting the right software is crucial for audio production. In sound engineering, we use things called DAWs, Digital Audio Workstations. There's a lot of different DAWs to choose from, including Reaper, Ableton, FL Studio, Cubase, and a lot more. To find the one that's specifically right for you, check your PC or laptop requirements and find out what runs on your system. Once you've done that, look at your personal preferences that you like in your audio production software and find out what's best for you. I personally use Reaper, which has a free evaluation license and later has a $60 fee. However, if you don't feel like paying for a DAW straight away, there are other options that are available. Welcome to Reaper. This is a digital audio workstation that I personally use, and I'm going to be demonstrating it a little bit for you now. Starting off, we have the master track. A lot of DAWs have this. You can control the entire sound, you can control FX, you can solo the track, mute the track, along with many other things. And this is of course very helpful when you are producing audio. Next up are the general tracks. These are used to hold sounds, such as drums, basses, vocals, etc. Most tracks have an option to pan, mute, solo, and more. Tracks are, of course, essential to audio production. Next, I will briefly go through some of the tabs that Reaper specifically has. While the Reaper has its own setup and layout, many of these are also found in other DAWs. Make sure to check all sides of your screen to make sure you don't miss any important buttons or hotbars. Finally, we are going to move on to some of the effects. Effects can be layered over tracks and have many different functions. Among these effects are things such as reverb, chorus, delay, and virtual instruments. For example, I'm going to pull up 3 VSTs. I'll choose Recomp, Guitar Rig 7, and Grellian Autotune. You can see these all have various functions and effects, which will vary from VST to VST. Now that you know what to look for when getting a digital audio workstation, let's jump into publication. Now that you've worked with your DAW a little bit, let's jump into publishing and distribution. There's a lot of different places that will publish and distribute your music or sounds, so it's important to do research and figure out which one works for you. Both CD Baby and DistroKid are very popular among producers, however, there are a lot of options out there. Companies almost always vary on the information they require you to submit. However, things like personal details, song or album titles, and cover art are just a few things that you will be required to submit. Keep in mind that with many of these companies, they have several submissions, so it might take up to 2 or 3 weeks to get it submitted on average. There's also usually a fee that comes with distributing your music. Depending on the amount of songs or albums you're doing, this rate will vary. Now that we've finished talking about publishing, let's wrap up and summarize everything you've learned. So, there are 5 big steps to getting started in audio production. 1, you're going to want to establish your intentions before getting into it. 2, you're going to want to look at hardware. You're going to want to make sure that you know what you want to buy physically before you jump into audio production. The 3rd step is evaluating software. Digital audio workstations are crucial, so make sure you pick the right one. The 4th step is to start producing. Get into the specific details of the things you're producing and work to get better at them. Finally, you've learned how to publish and distribute your music worldwide. Using these 5 steps, you can take your audio production truly to the next level. With everything we've talked about out of the way, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Ports of Wealth Media team if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from us again. I've been your host, Tyson McGinnis, and I'll see you next time.